Hey guys, I what the fuck was that? Um I I made this myself, this fucking tier list or whatever. Took quite a while. I was gonna use one online, but I really couldn't find one with a lot of games that I played, or like couldn't really find one that had like a good like they were either like a fuck ton of games I don't play or like missing some games I really play. But yeah, so I basically made one myself and then tried to put all the pictures in there, but they were all like too big, so I had to fucking literally change the file size of all of them, or like the pixel ratio or whatever. Um, so except for like Valorant, like this one was like the only one I didn't have to change. Also for this Dead Rising, you just for some reason it's white in here. I don't know. I mean, I guess it's because the text is white and it's just blending in here. Um, and yeah, and also for a few of these games, I haven't played all these games. That's obviously why I made a never played tab. But I just wanted to add games that were more, I wanted to add a good amount of games that were really popular that I haven't played, and even games that I don't really like, that I have played, because otherwise it wouldn't really be a tier list. Well, it would be it'd just be like favorite games or whatever. But um, also if you see here for a few games like Team Fortress, Left 4 Dead, Injustice, there was another game. Fuck, where is it? Wherever it is, it's Dota 2. Um, I really tried to find just ones that weren't specific games because pretty much for all of these, it's overall as franchises, but obviously some of these games aren't really franchises. Like Overwatch, I think there is a second game coming out, but it's there's only one Overwatch. It's not a series. Same with like Fall Guys, and I think Wii Sports probably. And like Valorant and like League of Legends and no, I mean kind of Starcraft, not really, but um, and I guess Rock Band and Guitar Hero, stuff like that in Minecraft. They're really only like in H1. Uh, they're really only like one game. So, but for some of them, it would not let me download pictures and change. It would let me download them, but some of them I couldn't like change the file size or whatever. So that's why a few of them I had to use those pictures. There's also Skate 3, yeah, Skate 3. I basically had to use those as the pictures, but it's not like I'm not ranking it as Team Fortress 2, or like I'm not ranking them as like Skate 3 or Injustice 2. I'm ranking them as like Skate as a series or Injustice as a series. If that makes sense, but um yeah, so there might be a few series I'm definitely missing. I think there's 91 on here, 91 different um series or games or whatever. Um I hope I didn't miss any for games that I really play. I was trying to think back, and I even looked through my Xbox achievements and looked at my Steam games, and I looked at everything, and I could not really. I went through everything, so if I'm missing a game on here that I like played at least like a semi decent bit, I shouldn't be because I kind of really looked into it. But if I somehow missed it, then that's a bit fucking depressing. Oh shit, did I put Apex Legends on here? I think I did, right? Might be on here because I remember I was missing Apex. Oh no, it's right there. Um, but yeah, so I think that's all the games. I'm just trying to think, but I probably should have thought of that before I started this, so it's kind of too late. But I'm definitely not missing any games that I really, really enjoy because otherwise that'd be pretty sad. But yeah, so I'm going to rank them how I have them like here. They're in a random order. They're not even how I had them in my folder. But yeah, so we'll start with Street, NFL Street. I think this is only one game. I don't really know. I know I played it on the PS2. It probably came out in like 2003 or something. I'm gonna put it in decent. Um, it would be close to goated, but it's football, and I'm not really a football fan. But for a football game, this is really these games are really fun. Or this game, I think they probably made a Street too. I might have even had it, but I just remember playing Street. And the reason why I remembered because I still have it on disc on the place from the PlayStation 2. Uh, and yeah, um, pretty fucking solid game. Played it quite a bit with my brother. Um, I played this like around the time it came out, like 03, 04, 05 or something like that. But yeah. So Tomb Raider. I don't think I've ever played Tomb Raider to be honest. Yeah, it looks kind of boring. Um, kind of honestly just feels like kind of like Uncharted, but yeah. Pokemon. So this is obviously video games, not like the cards or whatever, but I don't think I've ever played a Pokemon game. A lot of like Nintendo and I don't know, I don't think Pokemon is Nintendo, but a lot of shit like that. Wait, what the fuck? Is this, okay. Um, I really am not a fan of because it is really too much for kids. And like even when I was a kid, I was like, this is like for like uh, I don't know, it's like anime. I just could never understand why someone would enjoy it. Um, Watching or playing it is just really boring and is a terrible concept in my opinion. Um, but I technically have played Pokemon. Well, I've never owned it obviously. I know that like the cards. I don't know if I had any cards. I probably did have a little bit when I was a kid, but I know I just said I didn't play it, but I think I have played a little bit on like probably my friends' DS's or something like that. And I do kind of know how the game works, and so with that, I'm honestly gonna put in absolute garbage just because I think it's the core mechanics of the game just seem so fucking boring and like they don't really seem. I have played it, but I have don't really remember. But I'm basically gonna put it. I know how the game works. I know like everything to do with Pokemon and shit. Like I don't. I'm not a fucking one of those people. I don't like really know. I just know like the super like simple fucking basic shit or whatever. So I probably should put it in never played, but I really just don't like Pokemon, so I'm gonna put it in absolute garbage because of what I think it is. But yeah. And also Pokemon Go, which actually you can count as a video game, and I did have downloaded on my phone, was really fucking terrible. Um, I remember back in like 2016 or 17 when that shit was popular. It was so corny. Like people, oh my god, like there's a fucking uh, Bulbasaur. I think that they're Bulbatoy or whatever the fuck that Pokemon's name is, or Charizard, whatever the like rare ones are. They'd be like people be like freaking out and shit, and like um yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about, but I do at the same time. So yeah. Um, then Portal. I think there's Portal 1 and a Portal 2. I think you can only play it on Steam. I have played Portal, but I probably haven't played it in 10 years. It is a really unique type game. I don't really know how to explain it because I don't know a whole lot about it, but I have played it. I'm gonna put it in decent also. I'm gonna put it above Street though, even though I enjoyed Street more. I just think Portal is a more unique concept. But yeah, so Sonic the Hedgehog, I've never played. I don't think. Otherwise, I'm not gonna lie, I probably would have put it in one of these two. Oh shit, one of these two. I just realized. Just realized that's supposed to be like that. I don't know how long it was like that, but um, yeah, Jesus. Um, Make sure I have it all. Absolute garbage, bad, below average, average, decent. Yeah. I always struggle with trying to name these, but yeah, no, it was supposed to be like that. I don't know why those were swapped. But yeah. Mass Effect. I think I've played Mass Effect. I think one of my friends brought it to my house one time, but I honestly can't remember, so I'm gonna put in never played. I know Mass Effect is a space game, I do believe. If I'm wrong, then I'm thinking of a different game. I might even be thinking of Dead Space, because I know I've played Dead Space like once or twice, but I don't really have much to say about Mass Effect. Rocket League. Um, God, that's hard. Um, I'm honestly gonna put in goated. Oh, Jesus Christ, you can like barely see it 'cause it's kind of blending in. It's all fucking smushed together. I might change it after, but I'm gonna put in goated for now because it is one of the games I play the most. I think it's my third most played game on Steam. My second most played game on Steam I haven't played in like 2.5 years really, so it's kind of like my second most played game on Steam. Um, I play keyboard and mouse on the game. Most people don't. Most people play controller. I was going back because I played on PC, but I was going back for to do some of the achievements on Xbox, so I was using my controller. And I actually my first online game I ever played on a controller. Like I played with a controller against bots just to cheese out some of the achievements. But my first game online, I played a tournament because there's a couple achievements for playing tournaments. And I'm not even kidding. First game, I MVP and got like 650 score. It was pretty funny because, well, I was playing against diamond players. So I was playing against like my main diamond and champ players. I was literally on a controller, which I do not play on. So I thought it was hilarious when we won. I got like 2 goals and like 5 saves or something. Got like 700, 650 score. It was really funny. So I got the achievement for that, and then lost second round, of course. But yeah. Um. So yeah, and then we got the Elder Scroll games. I know that I think that's what they're called, the Elder Scroll games, right? Because I know they're up like Dark Souls and all that. Um, I know like fucking Elden Ring that just came out. Those are all a part of the same family of games, and I believe they're called the Elder Scroll games. Maybe they're called the Dark Soul games. I don't know. They wouldn't be that. I don't know. I haven't played them before. They look. I'm really bad at explaining shit. They look like the boss fights look really cool. Like the way they designed the boss fights was really cool, and I kind of like that system. Kind of like in Dead Rising, how you have different bosses throughout the level or throughout the map that you fight, and they're harder and harder, and they're different styles, different stuff, different ways to take them down, which is really cool. But I think the core gameplay just looks really bad, and I do not like the HUD. Like I don't like the MMO. No, it's not an MMORPG. What the fuck is it? Maybe it is. I always forget which one is which, but I really just don't like the HUD because it reminds me a lot of games like World of Warcraft's HUD and like League of Legends HUD. They all have very similar HUDs where there's just too much shit on the screen, and I don't know what is what. And I guess it's because I don't play the game, but like those kind of games kind of, I don't know, not throw me off, but kind of like push me off from playing it just because they look a little bit too confusing with the HUD, which I guess isn't like necessarily a bad thing because I would rather have a competitive experience than like a casual experience, which is like, the more shit the better, I guess. But I don't know. I just don't really like the way the game looks. I could see it being a very good game, but um, not as good as people hype them up to be. I don't think they could be that good. Just from basically how the gameplay is, just how like the game is built, like what kind of style game it is. But that's just me. I don't like those type of games. So yeah. And then we got Crossfire, which is basically the CS:GO ripoff, but it's in Asia. It's more of an Asian game. Like nobody plays it in NA, I'm guessing. But surprisingly, it's bigger than CS like worldwide, just because of how like Asia's massive. It's literally one of the biggest games in the world. Yet most people from the Western world probably have never heard of it. I hadn't heard of it till probably 4 or 5 years ago. It's really just a rip-off, shitty version of CS, like really bad version of CS. But I've never played it, so I'm gonna have to put it in there. But yeah, yeah. So, oh fuck. So, this is like the first kind of series where it's kind of hard to rank it because the games in the series are so different, and like obviously the first GTA was like a fuck, what's it called? It's like an overhead game, where you kind of, I don't know what they're called, but they're fuck. I do know what they're called, but I just can't remember. Where it's basically like it's overhead. It's not 3D. It's like 1D or whatever, 2D. Um, and then obviously Grand Theft Auto games just got more advanced and better. And yeah, I'm not with like most people where I don't think like San Andreas and Vice City were like amazing. My favorite GTA game probably is GTA 4. Um, but I liked like Vice City and San Andreas, but I don't think San Andreas, especially San Andreas, I don't think it was like fucking some incredible PlayStation 2 game, even though I used to own it on the PlayStation 2. But it was alright. But and then obviously GTA 5, which still gets updates to this day, and it's 10 years old, and you know, it's a GTA game. They should have came out with another one by now, but it's better that they take their time on it. Come up with a smoother, more polished game than come out with something shitty, which obviously Rockstar has a really good track record. Um, with obviously the GTA series and games like Bully and obviously Red Dead Redemption and there's a few other games. Manhunt or whatever that game is called. I can't remember what it's called, but um, yeah. And what else has Rockstar made? I can't remember. I've played a couple other Rockstar-based games, but it's fucking other than Red Dead and GTA. That's their two biggest games by far, and Bully's pretty big too. But um, obviously that's not a series. Yeah. So I'd probably rank GTA in decent. I'd probably put it above Street and Portal just because I've played it a decent amount, especially 4 and 5. Um, but GTA games are kind of super casual friendly. They can get boring after not that long. Even GTA 5, like I think a lot of people game who like the GTA series also play sports games and then like COD and that's it. Um, which is like pretty pretty bad because all three of those games can get super fucking boring extremely quick. But somehow people are able to play them for hours and hours and hours on end. There is GTA RP now actually, which a few of my friends play, which is it's not really technically the game because it's like a modded version of the game, but um yeah, so yeah. And then we got Skate, which I'm going to put in average. Yeah, I'm gonna put in average. I I don't know if I played Skate 2. I've definitely played the first one and I've definitely played the third one. I used to play Skate 3 at my friend's house quite a bit when that came out. I've never owned any of the Skate games, but I did have the demo for Skate 3, I remember. This is like the only time I've ever done this, but I had the demo for it and like I'd like load it up and play it for like a half an hour like once a week just because I really liked I really I don't know, I just liked the fucking controls for it and all that. I it's hard to say now, but especially like right when I start like because I started playing Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 recently. Had bought it recently. I meant to buy it 2 years ago when it came out, but I just didn't for some reason, which I kind of regret. But because it was such a good game, but originally when I started playing Tony Hawk game again, I realized like I thought, fuck, like the controls on the skate games were way better, but now I'm not quite sure. Originally I really hated jumping with A, but I think I like it better now than using the stick. Because like on skate you can jump with the stick and like you do your moves with the stick right after you jump. Like you do a not like a ollie and then into a kickflip or into a whatever move you want to do. Um, but yeah, so I might switch to decent, but gonna have to. Yeah, I'm gonna have to put an average just for all the games I've played, just because there isn't really much to the game in my opinion. I don't think it's anywhere as good as the Tony Hawk series, and I did, for the record, at wherever Tony Hawk is on here, right there. It is Tony Hawk Pro Skater, but I'm also including like the Underground series and all that because I guess they're technically different series, but they're the same. But I'm definitely including like Underground to that, um, because um, I don't know, they're all really just the same games. And I've really only played Underground 1 and 2 right when those came out, and I played those a lot, and then I hadn't played another Tony Hawk game until the remaster, which I literally got like a month or like 2 months ago, month and a half ago. Um, and yeah, like I played the Underground 1 and 2 a lot, but I had never played any of the original like Pro Skater games or anything after that. So, um, but yeah, I'm just gonna add all the like where it says Pro Skater, that's basically all the Tony Hawk games that have ever come out. Yeah. And then I've played Uncharted. God, I bought a PS4 and then it came with it. I don't remember which one it was, but I'm gonna put it in below average because played it for probably 5 or 6 hours and it was pretty boring. I don't know why I played it and wasted my time. Um, I don't know, just a fucking adventure game where you go on and fucking explore some island or some bullshit. I don't know. It was pretty boring, yeah. Um, then we got NBA Street, which I'm going to put in. See, I don't really remember NBA Street anywhere as much as NFL Street, so I'm going to put an average, but I'm gonna put a above skate because it was an okay game, but I don't really remember it as much. Um, so yeah, I can't really. Yeah, I'm just trying to think. Yeah, I'm gonna put it in average. It would have came out around the same time as the NFL Street game came out, but I just remember the NFL Street game so much more. Also because I do remember the NBA Street having a little bit of like a weird um aesthetic to it. Like the graphics looked kind of weird compared to NFL Street, but it was still enjoyable. Maybe I'll move it. But for now I'm gonna keep it an average. Mario Kart. I've only really played Mario Kart 64, and then like I've probably played one of the newer ones. I don't know. Like I said, I've never owned a Nintendo console other than a 64, and out of all the consoles I've ever owned, it's the console I've played least on because um well the Nintendo 64 came out in like I think late 96, which is like 2 years before I was born, but I don't really remember when we got one. We probably got one around the time I was born, I want to say. Um but yeah, I just remember having Mario Kart, Mario fucking Super Mario and GoldenEye on it, and the only game I really enjoyed on it was GoldenEye. Um, Super Mario was pretty cool, but I don't know. I was really young. I was probably because we got a PS2 in like 2002, so I was probably like I don't know 3 or 4 years old when I was playing that. Um, until we got a PS2. But yeah. So I haven't even put it anywhere Mario Kart. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna put it in bad. People ride ride the fucking nostalgia dick like no other. I think these games are pretty bad racing games, to be quite honest. I'm not really a fan of racing games much anyway, but I think, I don't know, I just don't like any of the Mario character, or the, yeah, Mario World characters, whatever the fuck you call them, Nintendo characters. Um, and yeah, it's pretty annoying when you're in first place and you get hit by a fucking shell or something, and all of a sudden you lose because of it. Um, but yeah, so I was originally just gonna add Injustice into the Mortal Kombat as one, but they're different games, even though they are made by NetherRealm Studios, who makes Mortal Kombat. But yeah. So I guess it is fitting that it's Injustice 2 because I've actually haven't played the first one, Injustice Gods of. I don't remember what it's called because I've never played it, but I have played 2, which I played recently, and it was pretty decent. Gonna put in decent, and I'm gonna put it honestly. I'm gonna put it behind GTA just because of how much more I played GTA. But if I had put more hours in Injustice, and maybe if I had played the first one, I'd probably put it above it. Uh, even though um, fighting games I don't really love. Like, I'm not a big fan of fighting games. The only fighting games I really played were the Mortal Kombat games, and I just really liked them because of the lore and the characters. I'm not the biggest fan of the actual gameplay mechanics of fighting games. Mainly because they are really hard, and it is just practice. Like it's not a game where you could just naturally be good at. You just have to practice and learn combos and shit. Like if you really want to be good at the game. And I'm not bad with Sub-Zero and like some characters like Raiden, um, stuff like that. But I definitely wouldn't say I'm great. I'm definitely above average, but it's partly just because of how much time it takes to get good at the game. Um, the fighting games that is a little bit of a throw off, but I still do enjoy Mortal Kombat. Um, but yeah, uh, yeah. Next we got Dead Rising. It's fucking can't really see it. So Dead Rising is a game I haven't played a whole lot. I've played the first two. Played the first one probably a year or two after it came out. Maybe even the year it did come out, but I don't think I owned it until at least a couple years after it came out. The first one came out in 2006. But I actually played it recently, and it is the last game I have on my wish list on my Xbox because I went back and just did a fuck ton of achievements recently when my PC wasn't really working. I had to bring it in to get fixed, so I just spent the last 2.5 months up until like a week and a half ago just playing console games, which was I actually had a lot of fun going back and playing some of the story games that I never completely finished, like the Bioshock the Collection. I had done all the ones like the previous, but I had never beaten the remakes except for the first one I did beat on Steam, but I went back and beat it again on Xbox and 100% of that game. And yeah, where is I going with this? But yeah, Dead Rising is the last game I have to do still. Basically all the games I had bought before that. It was I don't know how many fucking games I bought in the last few months, but um, Dead Rising is the only one that hasn't gone on sale yet. I have Dead Rising 1 on my wish list, and then I have also Dead Rising the Collection, which is 1, 2, and 3, I think. Um, I believe there's a few expansions for the first one and the second one, maybe the third and the fourth. I can't remember if there's a fifth one out, if it's not out yet, or if it already came out. But I think I have three. Yeah, I have three. I've never played it. I bought it on Xbox or when I bought my Xbox, but I never played it. Um, I'm trying to think. I played the first and second one a decent bit, but I don't think I ever beat either of them. So this is one of those games where I haven't honestly played a shit ton, but I'm going to rank it a little bit higher and probably put it in close to GOATed just because I really do. I really like the overall feel of the game and the just the core mechanics of it. But um, yeah, I haven't beaten it, so I haven't played it a shit ton. Um, but yeah, I really hope they go on sale again, or I hope they get added to the Game Pass so I can play them on my PC through Xbox. Because I want to every game I beat, I want to play through Xbox. I don't really want to play them on Steam. Steam's more for multiplayer games for me. What the fuck? But yeah, so I'm gonna put it in close to go to because uh, I know the first two are really dope games. I know I want to say the fifth one. I think it's already came out. I got really bad reviews, but um, yeah. So yeah. And then we got Among Us. I'm gonna put in bad. I'm gonna put it above. I'm gonna put it above Mario Kart though. Um. Yeah. Terrible graphics. Nothing. I don't think the like mechanics or how the game plays um is great. I'm so bad at explaining myself. Like, I know what I mean in my head, but I'm just bad at articulating what I want to say. Um. But yeah, I do enjoy me and my friends used to play like probably 6 months ago. We played it for a good couple weeks. There was a Among Us like imposters game mode in fucking Fortnite. And it was actually pretty fun. It was pretty funny, but overall the just the way the game plays gets really boring and like I just don't like the aesthetic and the feel of the game. It looks so fucking bad. And I hate all the Among Us memes and shit and how it was a really popular game last year. It didn't really make much sense to me, but at the same time it did because how dumb people are. Um, but yeah, it's a casual friendly game. That's pretty much all I can say. I'm not gonna put in absolute garbage though because you can have fun on the game, but you basically need to play with your friends. If you're not playing with your friends, then there's absolutely no point. Apex Legends, I'm gonna put in average. I'm gonna put in average. I'm gonna put it above Skate though, even though I played Skate quite a bit more probably. I think I've actually only played like 3 or 4 games of Apex Legends, and I don't think I've played it since the day it came out. I think I played about 3 or 4 games the day it came out and haven't played it since. Um, I know the first game we played trios because I think it is trios only. Yeah, it is trios only. At least it was then. They might have switched it since then, but first game we played, we literally won. We got like a 12 kill win or some shit. And then yeah, I think I might have played Um, yeah, I think I might have played we played a couple more games. We might have even only played like 3 games, but I just remember not liking how much much people eat bullets in the game. Um, I know it almost makes it better because the more accurate you are, the easier the the harder. How am I trying to explain this? Basically, it makes it so the better player will win majority of the time, just because it takes more bullets to hit, meaning you have to be more accurate. You can't just get one lucky shot on somebody, but I think it goes a little bit too overboard with that, where it's like, fuck, you're dumping mags into people and shit. And I don't know. Maybe it's just because I haven't played it, but honestly, like watching it, it's somewhat enjoyable because I kind of like the movement in the game, but um, I don't know. Just for playing it, it's not really for me. Assassin's Creed, Ins Creed. I haven't played since. I think I played Black Flag a little bit a couple years ago. I did play Black Flag a little bit a couple years ago, like right around the time it came out, but didn't really play it too much. Other than that, I've played the first three a little bit. Um, Mainly just because my brother really like played a lot of the first 3 games. But the series has changed a lot since the first three, and it's a lot different now. Um, it's cool how they take different approaches to each game. But the core mechanics are always kind of the same with, some games that take place in, you know, Viking era or Egyptian era or the pirate era, which is really cool. But yeah, I just haven't played them a lot, so I'm gonna put it above these in average. Just because I can understand why someone would really enjoy this game and maybe put it in like close to goated, but I couldn't see someone putting it in goated. Just because I don't know, they're not my style games. I guess I don't really know. Maybe I could understand somebody putting it in goated, but yeah. So Pac-Man, I've obviously played Pac-Man. I'm gonna put Pac-Man in bad. It's one of the first games ever created, video games ever really. It's mainly just an arcade game. Nobody plays Pac-Man anymore. No one's played Pac-Man for 30 years. Yeah, it's a super simple game. I mean, it's fucking hard. Like, it does get hard, but there's really nothing to it. You just play as a fucking, I don't know, Pac-Man, trying to eat up the shit and avoid the other ones. I don't, yeah. And then we got Batman, the Arkham series. Same thing with these. I've really only played them because my brother played them, but I haven't really played them much. I'm gonna put them at the end of decent. Um, Actually, I'm gonna put it in front of Portal. Um, yeah. Uh, my opinion would probably change on it if I had played it a lot more. Like I probably have maybe 10 hours on the Arkham games ever, which is not a lot, obviously. But um, yeah, I like the character of Batman, and I know the games. I have watched a little bit of gameplay, and they do look really, not really fun because I don't know. Like I said, I'm not really a big fan of those type of story-based games where it's open world, third person. I did enjoy Red Dead, but they do kind of get a little bit exhausting after a while, just because of how much there is to do in the games. But um, yeah. Sorry, I just have to keep drinking water. My mouth gets really dry when I constantly am talking. But yeah. Yeah. And then Battlefield, I'm going to put in average. I'm gonna put it above Skate. I don't want to put this. I'm gonna put it right there. I played Battlefield Bad Company back in the day. I think it was one of the first 360 games I bought, or maybe it wasn't. I do remember owning it on the 360. I want to say Bad Company came out in like 2006. But I can't really remember. Um, yeah, I have played a little bit of Battlefield 3. But since then I haven't really played any of the other ones. There's Battlefield 3. I can't really remember. All I know is I played Battlefield Bad Company, and I have seen quite a bit of gameplay of pretty much every single one since then, like 4 and 5. But one of my friends has the newer one, and he played it right when it came out. And apparently, it's terrible. So there's that. But I'm just gonna put it in average, just because I don't know. It competed with Call of Duty for a while, obviously. Being a little bit different, it was an FPS game, but it was more um a little bit. The maps were bigger and all that. But and there was a lot of different vehicle combat, planes and cars and shit, which obviously Call of Duty implemented after a while. I mean, I guess World of War had tanks in it in some of the maps, but yeah, um, yeah. And then Bioshock, putting that in goated. We're putting that above Rocket League. I think this is the one for yeah, like the fucking picture's like really stretched, but I just was getting really annoyed, and I just figured out that if I stretch them, they'll fit in there and they'll look fine, and you can see clearly what the game is. Um, but yeah, obviously that's the picture of it's a Bioshock the Collection. I tried to get the original Bioshock logo, but like the same thing, I just couldn't get it. So I was like, all right, I guess if this one works, it's fine, and it ended up working. So um, yeah, um, so I have to just keep drinking water. I'm gonna try to stop drinking so much water, but um, I recently just played again Bioshock 1, 2, and 3 from the remastered on the Xbox. Um, and then before that, I had played the first one on the remaster because I bought the remaster on Steam. But play the first one, I realized why am I playing this? I don't really care about the Steam achievements. That's mainly the reason why I like playing story mode games is to try to completionist it and get all the achievements. And especially since I had already played it before, I thought, why am I playing it again on Steam? But so I played it again on the Xbox, and I really found a even more of an appreciation for the series. It's always been one of my favorite games, but when I was just replaying it, I was just like, I don't know why, I was just like, holy fuck, these games are like so good. Like probably had, I've always had Bioshock in like my top 10, but it's definitely in my top 5 now just for games, even though um it really isn't like, it doesn't have like a super like a ton of replay value just because the first three just have story modes, and then well, they all have story modes. Um, the first one has a little side game mode where you basically do some shit and like save a little sister. Um, you got maybe 5 hours tops of gameplay on that. Second one's got Minerva's Den DLC campaign, which is like 2 hours. And then you got the side game modes on that, which were quite a bit better than the Bioshock 1 ones, but you got maybe a couple hours on that. Um, or maybe 5 hours tops. That's absolute tops. And then you got Infinite, and then you have um, secondary game mode, the wave-based game mode, which is Clouds and CICT, I think it was Clouds. I forgot what it is, Clouds and something something. But it's actually a really fun wave-based game mode. It was a lot more fun than I expected it to be. It was a little bit rage-inducing a couple times, but it was actually pretty fun. And then there was the two DLCs, Burial at Sea, episode 1 and 2, which were I had never played them before, even though I beat the original Bioshock. I just never played any of the DLCs for any of the Bioshock games because originally I think back then you had to pay for them, but um, especially episode 2 is actually really fucking good. I really liked the ending. It was actually like it was like incredible. It was one of my favorite endings ever in games. I thought it tied it in pretty well. And I know the Bioshock games are very confusing because of all the different um universes or whatever, multiverses, whatever the fuck you call it, different timelines and all that. But yeah, just the story, stories in all three of them, but especially the first one and the third one and Infinite are like 10 out of 10. Um, yeah, I don't know. Everything about it, the gameplay is fucking great. I really just the plasmas are dope to use and the vigors in Infinite. Um, yeah, especially in the first game, like the aesthetic of it, it's like, in my opinion, the best game of all time for aesthetic. Like the first game, it just especially for a game that came out in 2007 and like the remaster. It did obviously have a remaster, but the remaster wasn't like it wasn't like an astonishing remaster. It didn't look way better than the original game, which is like pretty crazy because like the original game came out in 2007 and it still looks really good today. Like obviously the remaster does look better, but not like way better. Not as much as you'd expect, but um yeah, the only thing bad I can say really about it when I was playing through all of them was the Infinite remaster. Whoever made it, they did a pretty bad job with um how it runs. At least on the Xbox, it ran like fucking shit. Infinite, which is crazy because the first two ran fine. Like the second one, I had crash on me a couple times, which is weird. But um, yeah, Infinite was so fucking laggy. And it never. I remember it never was laggy for me when I played it on. I played it on the 360 when I originally had Infinite because it was like a few months before I got an Xbox One, and it ran completely fine when I played it back then. So um, it must have been the remaster. I don't know, but holy fuck, I should probably get through these a lot faster. But yeah, Bioshock's just an incredible game. If you haven't played it, you gotta play it. There's rumors or news that a new one's coming out this year, maybe early next year, which I'm really excited for. There's a few games that I have a lot of hype for, and um, yeah, Bioshock is one of them. A new one coming out would be one of them, or whatever the fuck. And there's a couple other games in here that are rumored to have games coming out, or like, it seems like there'd be a new game coming out. But yeah, and they're also apparently making a Netflix TV show, which hopefully it's not bad because video game movies and TV, or no, it's a movie. It's not a TV show, but movies and video game movies and TV shows are very hit and miss. So hopefully it's not bad because it wouldn't tarnish the video games, legacy per se thing, but it would, you know, I don't know. It would just kind of it'd be better if it was good. But yeah. And then Borderlands, I've played Borderlands 2 a little bit, I think. Maybe the first one I can't really remember. I didn't really like the visual style of it. I didn't think Borderlands was great, so I'm probably gonna put it in. I'm gonna put it in below average, honestly. Um, I just really don't like visually how it looks, and I remember playing it back in the day and being very bored playing it. Yeah, it's another one of the games that I mainly only play because my brother owned it. So, and at one point we shared a 360 back in the day. So, and the Clash Royale, one of the only mobile games on here. Um, it's a lot different with mobile games because although I'd way rather play PC or console games, obviously, I'm gonna put Clash Royale in goated because as far as mobile games go, I think it is goated. It's like the only mobile game I've really ever played, and I still play to this day. I don't play it like a whole lot, but I'll play it like I usually play it every other day, and I'll play a couple games, but the games last 3 minutes, so yeah. And then Clash of Clans I've actually never played, but it looks pretty boring. But yeah, I played Clash Royale since 2016. Literally, I want to say within the week that it came out, I have the 6 year pin or badge on it, which didn't come out too long ago, and I've had it for like I want to say like at least a month. So I got it within the like 3 weeks of the game coming out. Um, but yeah, and then we got Counter Strike, which I'm gonna pop in goaded. Ooh, can't really see it. Oh, actually, I mean you can. It's just the way I'm sitting, I think. Yeah, the picture looks like shit, but yeah, we're gonna put in goaded. Yeah, as far as a series goes, I I have played 1.6 and Source. Played 1.6, I think at like my cousin's house or my neighbor's house back in the day, like fucking 17 plus years ago, at least 18 years ago, something like that. I don't know when 1.6 was in. It's like I must have been like 18, 19 years ago because um Source came out in 2004. I can't really remember, but I do remember playing Source at my friend's house probably 07, 08 around there. Because he used to have a computer and I used to occasionally play Source and think it was fun, but it wasn't really till CS:GO came out and I got it on my 360. Funny enough, because it originally was an Xbox. Like they originally wanted to make Counter Strike a console game, but Thankfully, they didn't really go that approach, even though they did put it on the 360, but it was still it was still main home was PC and Steam. Because the game does not play well on a controller. It plays fucking terrible. It's like impossible to play on a controller. But yeah. So funny enough, if I go back and look at the achievements on it, I still have like all the achievements I got are literally from 2012, which is the year the game came out. Um, but I didn't get it on Steam because I didn't get a PC until 2015. But it is by far my most played game on Steam and my PC, and it's like probably my most played single game of all time. Like I've probably played COD more as a franchise, but as a single game, CS has to be the game I played the most. I want to say by far too. Um, like I don't know, BO4 and BO3 zombies I played quite a bit, and it probably I don't know, I probably have 1,000 hours at least on both those, but by themselves. But I have like 2,700 hours on CS, so yeah. Also Minecraft I have a decent amount of hours on too. That's another game, but I have way more on CS for sure. It's got to be my most played game. Um, yeah. I don't know. It's also the game I've obviously spent by far the most money on. As probably spent fuck like 2,500 Canadian on it, at least maybe no maybe 3 grand. Yeah, 3 grand, 3,500 at most. Somewhere in between 25 and 3,500. Oh fuck. And yeah, my inventory's worth like I think like 10.5, like 10,000. Mainly just because all the skins I bought back in the day just fucking quintupled in price and all that shit. But yeah, CS is also like one of the games I'm best, like one of my best games. I don't play ranked anymore really, but I would be global. Maybe not from solo queuing because solo queuing is tough, but I did get LEM solo queue, so there's that. But I usually just play unranked, face it, or I'll play on one of my other accounts with my friends. Just because my friends are kind of not really good enough. I don't want to be like rude, but I don't really enjoy dropping 50, 55 kills and losing, and that's what would happen if I played on my main. But yeah. So uh, yeah. And then Crackdown. I played Crackdown the first one a lot. I think I played a bit of the second one. I can't really remember, but I'm gonna put Crackdown at the. I'm gonna put Crackdown. I'm gonna put it above. I'm gonna put it right there probably. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I'm gonna put it right there. As a series, I don't really know much after like the first one. I think it was just the first one I played, but the first one was really fun, and I always loved like when you like rank up or whatever. Basically, you like level up. Your character does this fucking shit, and he starts glowing, like explodes almost. He doesn't like die, but like energy like shoots at him. It's pretty cool. Uh, I always remember that being like a super satisfying feeling back in the day when I was playing that. But yeah, I haven't really played much since then. But Tony Hawk Pro Skater Series, I'm gonna have to put that in goated. I'll have to put that above Rocket League right there. If you asked me this 3 months ago, I probably would have said like decent, but um, I enjoyed the remaster, Tony Hawk Pro Skater Remaster 1 and 2 so much. It was such a fun game. It was one of the most fun experience I've ever had with like a newer game that I hadn't really played. Um, and like nowadays, there's not a lot of games that I like buy and that I've never played. Most of the games, it's just games I've always played, like Counter Strike and Rocket League, that they don't get new games for. It's just the same game and gets updates all the time. Or games like, you know, new COD comes out every year. I usually buy it. I haven't played Vanguard at all. I played the zombies like when the new map came out, and then I think I haven't played the multiplayer literally since like a couple days after it came out, which was in November, which is pretty funny. But um, God, where was I going with that? Yeah, like I said earlier, I really enjoyed Underground 1 and 2. I hope they remaster 1 and 2, or Underground 1 and 2. This is another game where I think they're probably there might be another game coming out this year. Whether it's uh Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 and 4 remaster, or it's Underground 1 and 2 remaster, or it's both in the same game. That'd be cool. I'd rather honestly have them do like Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 and 4 remaster and then eventually do Underground, or add Underground 1 and 2 as like a DLC to 3 and 4. But yeah, so I really enjoyed it. I really liked all the maps. It was a really fun game. It was really frustrating at the start because I was like really shit. But then all of a sudden I kind of like I didn't get like really good at the game, but like I went over a hump and was able to hit like, you know, 500k combos and shit. Where from before I was like, if I hit a 50k combo, I was like, oh shit. Um, but yeah, I'm not incredible at the game, but I did complete, did get all the achievements in that game except all hard get theirs, which just seemed a little bit too tedious for me, and I didn't know if I was good enough to do them. But I did get level 100, which is one of my, I think it is my rarest achievement on Xbox. If I go to True Achievements, it might not be my rarest, but I think it's in my top 5. For some reason, it's a really rare achievement. Mainly because it takes a like 5 day, like you got to play about 4 days of just playing the game and doing everything, basically getting all the achievements and leveling up, and then you have to play a full day of in-game time just grinding out XP in a really shitty way. Um, but yeah, um, yeah, this game got me actually back to like not back to, but it kind of I started watching a lot more skateboarding videos and shit, and kind of enjoying skateboarding more because of it. Not actual skateboarding. I don't actually skateboard, unfortunately. It's a little bit too hard, and I'm kind of a pussy. Um, in the sense that I don't really like eating shit if I know I'm gonna eat shit, because it's like a guaranteed thing where if you skateboard, you're gonna eventually just you're gonna break your arm or something. And like I've never broken a bone, and I don't really want to set. I'm really bad at setting myself up for something that like probably will end in pain. I don't know. I've always been really bad at it. That's always why I was never able to do a backflip. I remember trying recently like so many times that I just could never fucking land it. I never even like attempt to do it because I was always my brain would just like stop me from doing it. And that's like the same thing with skateboarding. Is I know if I tried to skateboard, if I like was skateboarding, I know I'd always want to be like I would want to be really good at it, and that kind of my brain kind of fucking saying like stopping me from doing all the cool tricks and shit. Basically, I don't know where I'm going with this, but I know it makes sense, but I'm not putting the words together properly. But yeah, I'm gonna fucking move on before I start talking into oblivion. Um, and then we got Wii Sports, which I never owned a Wii, but I have played a little bit of Wii Sports. I'm gonna put it in below average because they're pretty boring. Put it above those though. Um, yeah, this could be cool if you're old, I guess, and want to stay in shape. But the hit detection on a lot of the controllers, at least for me, were never great, and a lot of the games were pretty boring, like tennis and bowling and shit. Um, yeah. The only thing memory I really have about Wii Sports is me and my sister playing Wii Sports at one of my dad's friends' houses. This is probably 12 years ago ish, maybe 10 at the least, 10 or more years ago. And we were playing Wii bowling, and I told her to put the wrist thing on, and she didn't, and it slipped out of her hand and right into the TV. It was like a $2,000 TV, $2,500 TV, and it shattered. Didn't shatter, but it cracked like a motherfucker. Um, and yeah, my dad had to pay his friend back like 2 grand because of that, and yeah, it was pretty funny, but also not. I'd be choked if that happened to me. But yeah, so yeah. And then Dead Island, same thing. My brother pretty much played this game and the second one, I guess. I think there's a second one. I didn't play it too much. I'm just gonna put it in average because I have played it, but not much. I'm gonna put it right there. But yeah. Dead Space. I haven't really played much of Dead Space. Like I have played it, but I don't remember honestly much of it. But I'm gonna put it in another game. I'm gonna put it in below average, but I'm gonna put it at the end, or I'm gonna put it in average because I do remember it being okay, but I just can't really remember anything outside of that. Yeah. Then we got Destiny. I haven't played the second one. I played the first one right when it came out for like a good 2 weeks, like a lot, and then I never played it again, like literally. I'm gonna put Jesus Christ, dude, you can't even fucking see that. You can't even see it, but I still like to change the picture now. I'm gonna put Destiny in. I do remember it being fun, so I'm going to put it at the end of decent. Dude, even when no, yeah, it's like so. Fuck, I can't believe I didn't realize it. I could change the background color, but I'm not gonna do that because I might fuck with some of the other ones. But um, yeah, I do remember it being fun doing the dungeon type shit or whatever, but and being able to kind of rank up and get the rarer weapons and all that shit. But uh, yeah, outside of the 2 weeks I really played it, I don't think I'd never played it since. So yeah, Destroy All Humans. We're gonna put in close to goated. Yeah. Looking at like Destroy All Humans and then Clash Royale, like I'd way rather play Destroy All Humans, but Clash Royale is like different because it's mobile. Um, I'm just trying to think. No, I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it here. I'm gonna put Destroy All Humans above Dead Rising though, because I played it a little bit more. I still have the original Dead Rising for the original Xbox. My brother's friend sold it to me probably, I don't know, it's probably 2007 or something, a couple years after it came out. And then it worked. It was one of the games that worked on the 360, and I remember playing it a lot on the 360, and it was really fun. And then I bought the remaster for it on Steam. Played it for like 4 hours, then didn't play it again. And then I recently, like maybe 3 weeks ago, it was on sale on the Xbox. No, it's on Game Pass. No, it was on Game Pass. So I played it on Game Pass, and it was really fun. I ended up beating it. I don't think I'd ever beaten it before. I don't really remember. Because 2007 I was like 8 or 9 years old. And around that age, I played a lot of story games, but I didn't really have the mindset of beating games. I kind of just played them mindlessly. A lot of games I did beat, but some games I just kind of played mindlessly and like didn't really try to beat. It was weird. But I was a kid, so it's not weird. But yeah, and it was really fun when I went and replayed it. The second one's getting a remaster pretty soon too, so I'm hyped for that. But yeah, I haven't played any of the other Destroy All Human games. I've only played the first one, but it is really fun. I like the movement and everything. And I like how the aesthetic and how you play as an alien and all that. But yeah, then we got Donkey Kong Drift. What do you mean Drift? God, have I played Donkey Kong? I don't know. I'm gonna put in never played, but yeah, put in never played. Don't really have much to say. Diablo, I have played, but I'm gonna be honest. This is the one game where it's like I'm gonna have to put in never. I just really don't remember it much. I think that means if I've played it and I don't remember, I'm gonna have to just automatically put it in average or below average. But I'm gonna put it in average because I just really don't remember playing. Like I don't even remember how it plays, but I do remember definitely playing it, and especially I did look through my Xbox achievements and I had played it on there. I think. Yeah, it must have been. But yeah, I'm just gonna put an average because I honestly can't remember. And then we got Doom, which I haven't really played much of, but Doom does seem like a really dope game, and I have played it like a little bit. But I'm gonna put Doom. I'm gonna put it right above Batman. Don't really have much to say about that. Dota I've never played. Valorant. If this was like mid of last year, I would have honestly put it in like close to goated and maybe the top, but like the more and more I played it, the more and more I realized it's just a shit version of CS. Like the running gunning in that game is unreal. Um, the other thing I really like is I do enjoy playing as Raze a lot. That's like the only character I play as, and I really loved using her blast packs. But there's a lot of things bad about it, like the operators, the op in that game is fucking ass. The sheriff is fucking ass. Like compared to the CS versions, they're just so not even like they take less skill and they're worse. They just like the bullets just do not connect with those guns half the time, and they fucking nerfed the operator too bad to where you like cannot move with the fucking thing at all. And like it's like the only time you should use the operators when you're playing as Jet. It's fucking retarded. But so I'm gonna put Valorant in decent, and I have played Valorant quite a bit because I did play it quite a bit last year. So I'm gonna pop it right about there. Um, uh, See, if it was 6, 7 months ago, it'd be up a tier, but the game got sour for me, and I really haven't played it much since then. I just don't enjoy playing it anymore. I was like Diamond 3, Immortal 1 in it at one point, but yeah, I only played as Raze too, so I didn't really have much of a fucking selection size of the characters. It's 'cause I was too lazy to pick any other characters, but then we got the EA Sports UFC games. I really only played the one with who the fuck was on the cover. I think it was GSP. I think it was UFC 09. No, UFC 2, UFC 1. Was it the first one? I can't remember. I don't think I have it on disc anymore. I'm trying to look back. Some games I just ended up fucking losing somehow, but I did play it a little bit. I'm gonna put it in average because I'm not. It is a fighting game, but it's more of a realistic fighting game, and it doesn't. It's not as cool as like a game like Mortal Kombat. So I'm gonna put it in average, but I'll put it right. I'm gonna put it right there. Don't really have much to say on it. FIFA, I would have put in never played because I don't think I had ever played it up until 3, 4 years ago. It would have been FIFA what? FIFA 19. I had FIFA 19. It's the only FIFA game I had because where I worked, one of my friends really wanted me to get the game, so I ended up getting it and playing it a lot for like a solid month and a half, 2 months. And I actually enjoyed it. The soundtrack for it was really good. There's still some songs off the soundtrack I still listen to this day, but overall it's football, not soccer. But yeah, football as a sport, I'm just not a mega fan of. I don't want to put this. I'm gonna put it above UFC. I'm gonna put it right there. Just 'cause it actually isn't bad, but it is quite a bit better than I thought it would be. It actually like it was actually like kind of a fun game, but um, obviously just played like the hut mode in the game, which was I think called FUT, FIFA Ultimate Team, yeah. But yeah, I don't really have a lot to say. I wasn't great at the game, so yeah. Tekken, I think I have played Tekken, but I'm gonna put it in haven't played because I don't remember. But I want to say it's one of those games where it's like I probably played for like 5 minutes, but I just can't remember. Same thing with Fable. It's the same thing with Diablo, but I'm just trying to think. Like I probably should have looked at a few of these games before. Like just looked at a little bit of the gameplay, just kind of refresh my memory. Um, Let me look at Fable. Okay. Yeah, I did play it a little bit back in the day, but not much. So I'm gonna put it in average. Yeah. Um, Let me look at Diablo. Let me just look at Diablo. Oh wait, shit. Oh, Diablo's a Blizzard game, so Diablo's a fucking is a PC only game. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I wait, no. No, Diablo is on Xbox. Um, the three. I'm gonna put them both beside each other because I can't really remember. I probably should put them in never played, but I have played them both and they really weren't super memorable. So clearly, if I remembered them for being bad, I would remember them. If I remember them for being good, I'd really remember them. But since I don't really remember them, but I know I've played them, they're just average. And then we got Fall Guys, which me and my friends played. God, this would have been like a year and a half ago when it came out for a good couple months. It was pretty fun as a party game mode. It kind of reminded me of like Mario fucking Party, like this shit. But I honestly enjoyed it more. I'm gonna put it in decent, but I'm gonna put it at the end of decent. Just cause I'm gonna put it above Destiny though. I do remember it being um not bad or not. I did. Fuck, what am I talking about? I'm talking about like I haven't played it in 20 years. It wasn't like a bad game, but it got pretty fucking repetitive and boring after a bit. But as far as party game modes go, you can really only play this with friends. But it would be pretty fun with friends, and it was a game where like it was actually more enjoyable if you're drunk, which I think I played a few times drunk. But um, yeah, I can't remember how many wins. I think I have like 15 wins on the game or some shit. I don't have a whole lot of hours. I think I have like 45 hours in the game or something. But yeah, some of the maps were well designed and pretty fun. But oh yeah, that's pretty much it. And then Fallout 4. I guess I couldn't find a picture for Fallout. I didn't realize it was Fallout 4, but this is just as a series Fallout. Gonna put Fallout. Should I put Fallout? I played Fallout a semi okay amount. Put Fallout right there. Don't really have much to say. I realize like I got like halfway through the games and it's probably been like an hour and a half. Final Fantasy I haven't played. Fortnite. I'm gonna put it in decent. I'm gonna put um I'm gonna put behind Crackdown. I know Fortnite is one of those games that like is kind of for kids, but I think the main reason why I'm even putting it up in decent is mainly because I'm gonna put it behind Valorant actually. Yeah, I'm gonna put it behind Injustice also. Because the in-game skins it are really cool. Like it's really dope having like Marcus Phoenix or like a Stormtrooper, like whoever. There's some cool skins in the game. It's one of the coolest games for skins for sure. Outside of like Gears of War and CS:GO, it's probably the coolest game for skins. I really do enjoy playing as like just the different characters and shit. It is really fun, but core mechanics can be pretty ass at times. Dev team isn't great. They every season adds something fucking terrible in it, like the fucking battle bus thing that's in it this season, or the fucking zeppelins, or the guns being all fucking ass. They honestly just need to go back to the system of like being able to use the double pump, like the original double pumps, because that was like when the game was actually quite a bit more enjoyable. Um, but yeah, I think they just I don't know. I think they're done with that. I think they nerf too many of the guns, but then adds make fucking shit in the game that's OP as fuck. That's not guns, like fucking battle bus things and just stupid shit and like people hiding on top of the zeppelins all the time. Like it's really annoying. But yeah. And then we got Forza Horizon. I've really only played. I've only owned 5, but I played 4 and 3 a little bit. But I'm gonna put in close to goated because I had a lot of fun. I have had a lot of fun playing Forza 5. Um, yeah, I'm probably gonna put it at the back. Yeah, the graphics in the game are really good. Um, like I said earlier, I'm not really a fan of racing games, but I kind of just like the free roam aspect of this game even more, and some of the other shit you could do, like the speed traps and drift um, trap things and all those. I really enjoyed those, and there's like a little bit of a story mode in this game, which is fun too. But and then we got Gears of War, which should pop right there, goated. Um, the thing is, CS:GO as a single game is just so good that I have to always kind of put it at the top, but it's really hard to say because story-wise, CS:GO doesn't have a story at all. It's not. It's all based on multiplayer, which I enjoy most when a game is. Um, it has its obviously most replay value when it's a multiplayer game. But I do like the games that have mixed multiplayer and story. Like Gears of War and kind of like Bioshock. I didn't mention it earlier, but Bioshock 2 had a multiplayer which was actually really good. Really underrated. I remember playing it and it was actually really fun. Around the time it came out, but it wasn't super popular. So, and a lot of people thought it was like kind of trying to rip off COD, which it did seem like, but it was actually really fun and honestly played better than most majority of COD multiplayers. Um, but yeah, Gears as a series is great. I mean, the only game in the series I don't really enjoy, mainly because I haven't really played it, is Judgment. I never beat it. But yeah, I beat Gears 1 right when it came out. Within the year it came out. Gears 2 I got right when it came out. Gears 3 I got right when it came out. 4 I didn't get. I got a year after it came out. I don't know why. I think it was because I was playing so many PC games at that point where I just didn't play any console games at all. Like I went like 3.5 years without playing a story game. Um, and then yeah, Gears 5, which is the current game, which they're probably going to be coming out with a new one maybe this year, if not next year, because the Gears 5 year cycle, its seasonal cycle is like over. Like they come with new seasons, but there's nothing in them. No new fucking content really. So, um, yeah, Gears 3 is one of the best story games of all time. Then Gears 2, Gears 3 is one of the best multiplayers of all time. The horde modes are fun, but I think Gears 5 is by far the best horde mode. I just don't really like the older horde modes. I didn't really play much in Gears 2 or 3 as far as horde mode goes, and I don't think horde was even in the first one. But yeah, one of the best multiplayer shooters ever. Definitely, in my opinion, the best third-person shooter of all time, best third-person game of all time. Um, but yeah, I just like how I don't know. It's a good game. It's a go-to game actually, I guess. God of War. I've only really played a little bit. I'm gonna put in. Um, I'm gonna put above Diablo, but I'm gonna put behind Dead Space. One of the most overrated games of all time, I think. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I don't like Sony exclusive games because they've all, in my opinion, kind of been shit and like retardedly overrated. Like Xbox is definitely has quality over quantity. Where PlayStation seems to just have a lot of exclusives, but like none of them are good in my opinion. Um, the newer games definitely look graphically great, which is like always what like the game of the like people are like, oh, it's game of the year though. It won game of the year mainly because of like it just looks really fucking good, and like maybe the story's decent, but like you're selling a $90 game with like fucking 10 hours tops of content, really? Like I know people always say like, oh, it's got like 300 hours of content. Like I don't know what people are playing, but like every time I'm looking up these achievement guides, like that's really how you get all your content is throughout. You do all the achievements. You've played everything in the game possible, really. Games like Bioshock, where I looked at the achievement thing and it's like 50 hours to, or like I think the first one was like 30 hours for all the achievements. It literally took me like fucking like 8 hours. Like all these games are always like you get way less playtime than the games actually fucking say. It seems to for me. Maybe I'm just not as bad as most people at um well, I definitely know I'm a lot better than average than most people because obviously like a lot of people just, you know, tons of people are casuals. They sit on their couch and they play, but should not take you that long to beat some of these games, man. Like Red Dead was like very tedious because I went and did all the side quests and shit, but if you just do the main story, there's no way it should take you more than like I don't know. It shouldn't take you more than 20 hours tops. Like it just shouldn't. It's not that long. Like it is long, but like most of what the length in the game in my opinion is just like side quests and shit. If you just want to push out just the main story, it's not as long as people think it is. But obviously there's ton of really cool side chain games like Red Dead, so that's where all the time is put into. But yeah, Gran Turismo I want to put them below average because oh no, I haven't even played Gran Turismo. What am I talking about? The PS exclusive that looks like shit, so I would be putting it in below average. But yeah, Guitar Hero I'm gonna put it in decent. I'm gonna put it above. Put it right. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I'm gonna put it right there. Mainly because um like I'll rank Rock Band after. I think Rock Band and Guitar Hero are made by the same company. They have to be, right? I don't remember who they're made by, but I'm pretty sure they are. But I'm gonna put Rock Band above it because obviously it's got more overall fucking shit to do. I might even put Guitar Hero. I'm gonna put Guitar Hero back a little bit more actually. Yeah, just because I haven't played Guitar Hero as much. I haven't because I've never owned actually any Guitar Hero or Rock Band. I've just played them at a friend's house. But yeah, just put that there. And then we got H1Z and the Gutted BR. This is not current day H1, but all time H1. I'm gonna put in front of Rocket League. I think it's by fucking far the best BR. Um, I probably could have added Call of Duty Blackout on here. I probably should have, but it is Call of Duty, so if I had a Blackout, I probably would add zombies, which is just side game modes. They're not, the main game modes, which I guess BR is the side game mode for H1Z1. Just survive, but not really, because the BR was way bigger than it, obviously, and it's kind of what started the battle royale genre. Not, I thought there was like Arma or whatever, but a lot of people think PUBG started it, which is not true because H1 was a BR like 2.5 years before PUBG even came out. PUBG basically copied its whole flow. I don't know, it's PUBG's trash. Yeah, H1's a fucking really goated game. I would honestly put it above Tony Hawk, but the game's dead now and hasn't been good for 3 years, 3.5 years, something like that. Yes, 4 years maybe, something like that. But from 2015 to like mid 2016, it was like a decent game. It was a decent BR. I mean, it was the only really BR out at the time, but I remember playing it a lot, a decent amount in 2015, 2016. But then it came out with an update, and from like mid 2016 to like mid 2017, it was a fucking amazing BR. Like it was one of the true games that actually was really fun, mainly because skill ceiling was really high. You had to be good at the game. And yeah, even though the game was never massive, it's really a lot of the bigger BR people who eventually were bigger in Fortnite, like fucking Ninja, and who else played it? Fuck, there was other fucking BR players that came from it too. Like I mean, like Linden FPS and shit like that, and like Flame Hopper. They still play the game, but there's a lot of bigger people who came out of it too, like Ninja, who was obviously a pro in Halo before that. But I think when he started getting big was in H1, because he was one of the bigger streamers. But um, yeah, H1 was just really fucking good, and it's shitty that it's dead now. They really did fuck it up with some of the updates, but yeah, Half-Life, which was originally CS:GO was a, or CS was a mod for Half-Life, um, and CS basically came from Half-Life. I've heard a lot of good shit about Half-Life, but I haven't played it much. I've played a little bit of like Gary's mod and shit, but I'm gonna put it in decent, and mainly just because CS came from it, I'm going to put it in right there. Because I have played it, but not much. So I can't really comment on it, but I've still played it, so I can't put it never played, right? Halo, I'm gonna put in close. I'm gonna put in close to go to mainly for Halo 3 and Halo Reach. I played Halo Infinite, but I didn't really enjoy it, so I uninstalled it like after a couple days of playing it. But yeah, 3 and Reach were really good, especially Reach. I'm gonna put it above Forza Horizon actually. But I didn't really play 4, Halo 4, or I did own it, I believe. I think I played a little bit. Yeah, actually I did own it. I'm looking at it right now. But yeah, I played a lot of Halo Reach, and Halo 3, so it was good. This is basically just the James Bond games as a whole. So like obviously GoldenEye, and then Nightfire, and fucking what's the other one? What am I forgetting? I played a lot of Nightfire. Nightfire was like I think the one I played the most. I've had like all the James Bond games though. Obviously not all of them because they make a fuck ton of them. They used to make like a fuck ton of them, but I had 007 Legends, which is the newest one. It came out like 10 years ago. They don't make them anymore, but I don't think I had Bloodstone. I might have had Bloodstone actually. I can't remember though. I didn't have the Quantum of Solace game. Rogue Agent I played once. But I had everything. Is it everything or nothing? Yeah, everything or nothing. Nightfire, Agent Under Fire. I remember Agent Under Fire and Nightfire the most though. Um, on the PlayStation 2, mainly just because of the covers. Like I look at a cover and I like know if I really played the game a lot. I don't know why, but I remember from seeing the covers, I know I played these games a lot, and I have looked up gameplay recently just to kind of like I don't know, remember the game. And I do remember playing Agent Under Fire a fucking shit ton and Nightfire quite a bit too. And these were really like the first FPS games I ever played. I think I did play GoldenEye before probably, but I enjoyed these games a little bit more because of the graphics were better and they were on the PS2 uh, compared to the N64. So I want to put them in close to goated, but I want to put it at the end of close to goated just because they don't make them anymore. They haven't made a game in like 10 years at least, to my knowledge, from what I've seen. Um, and yeah, they were great games at the back in the day, but they don't really make them anymore. And the last few were not great. It was mainly just obviously GoldenEye being like everyone over like 30 years old loves that game, and I think it's great too. But I really just like Nightfire and Agent Under Fire a lot. So and I was like fucking 3, 4 years old when those games came out, and I must have got them not too long after they came out because I think my mom used to know I liked a lot of those kind of games like World War II, just shooting games because I used to have a bunch of toy guns when I was a kid, like when I was like 4 years old. So I've kind of been playing FPS games since I was like quite a bit younger than most people started playing FPS games. But yeah, then we got Left 4 Dead 2, or the Left 4 Dead series. I couldn't find Left 4 Dead as a whole, but obviously you see here it says Left 4 Dead 2. I'm going to put Left 4 Dead in decent. I'm gonna put it right there. I do like the Left 4 Dead series, but they are um kind of boring games. I don't know. I just remember not having a shit ton of time played on them, but they were pretty. Left 4 Dead 2 was like a very like when you think of the 360, it was one of the more popular games for the 360. And yeah, uh, there was a newer game that came out, Back 4 Blood, which me and my friend played probably about half of it. Uh, but we haven't beaten it yet. Probably go back to beating that eventually, but yeah. And then Lego, as a whole, it's just really all the Lego games. I've only played Indiana Jones, Star Wars, and what's the other Lego game I fucking played? Star Wars, Indiana Jones. There's one other Lego game I played. What the fuck was it? I think there was another Lego game I played. I'm trying to fucking remember. I haven't played a Lego game in like 15 years, but I remember I had a couple with the 360. I'm just scrolling back. Let me see. Lego Batman. That must have been what it was. Yeah, Lego Batman. I'm going to put in. I'm gonna put it about right about there. Um, yeah, Lego games are more for kids, but I know Star Wars Collection or whatever came out recently, and I watched my friend play it a little bit. And they're pretty cool, but I never played with Legos as a kid, so I just can't really. I don't know. I don't have like a nostalgia for them. I don't base any of my opinions off nostalgia, but it's just it helps if you play with Lego when you were a kid a lot more, I guess. I don't know. League of Legends, I'm gonna put in average because really overrated game. I'm gonna put right about there though. It's not my style of game, and I think it's got a pretty bad community. Then again, every game, or every big game does, so can't really hold that against them. But it is one of the biggest games, and it's one of the best competitive games up there with Counter Strike and Rocket League, stuff like that. But I don't enjoy the game myself, so I put it in average though, just because I know it is a very big competitive game. Actually, fuck, why am I putting it right behind Skate? I think it's a lot worse than Skate. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna put him. Um, I'm actually going to slot it like that. I'm actually gonna pop Diablo and Fable down because I don't want to completely clutter average, and you kind of have to have it decently, not decently like filtered, but oh fuck, I gotta put God of War in below average too. What am I talking about? I do not enjoy God of War. Yeah, I think that's a little bit better. Maybe I'll switch them around after, but yeah, for now I'm gonna put that. Last of Us, I'm gonna put in bad. Um, I honestly don't think I've ever played it, but just from the gameplay I've seen and the absolute overhype, I have to put in bad. I'm sorry, it does not look like a fun game. I don't really care if fucking bitch gets eaten by a zombie and then her and her dad are crying and shit. I don't really care. Call of Duty, we're gonna go with. This is a really hard where to put this because the heights of Call of Duty it could go here, but the lows it could go like in average. Um, but zombies really pushes it up. Some of the campaigns and multiplayer pushes it down. It's really hard to say because there's so many games in the series, and I played every game since Finest Hour, which came out in 2004. But I'm gonna put Call of Duty in. I'm really trying to think this one because this is like one of the like probably the series I played the most outside of. It's probably the games a series I played the most actually. I probably as a total I would have had to play it more than Counter Strike, but then again there's a lot of games in the series and it's don't really only like would be the most because of zombies. If you took zombies out of the equation, it'd be like the fourth most probably. Um, this is like a hard one, man. This is like I have to actually think about this because it's just like so many games in the series, and it's I don't have that like my opinion of it is nowhere near the same as most people. Like I think BO4 is the best zombies overall, then BO1, then BO3. I think IW is really good for zombies, and as a total, it was good. I think World War II is good. Advanced Warfare is one of my favorite CODs. I think BO2 is terrible. Um, I just have a very different opinion when it comes to COD. I think a lot of people think mainly about nostalgia and think, oh my god, CODs are so bad nowadays. And it's like, yeah, Vanguard is shit. And Cold War was okay. Didn't really like Modern Warfare, but like, I liked BO4 as far as the zombies went. I liked World War II was really good. It's really hard to say, but I think I'm gonna have to just because the zombies put at the end of Goated. Um, I'm gonna pop it right there. It's really hard, but just because of how much I've played it and like there is a lot of really good content in it, and there isn't a ton of bad. It's just it is overrated as a video game franchise, like massively to be honest. Um, just because it's the same thing every year, and the multiplayer is very one-dimensional. And but yeah, the zombies as a side mode is like the best side mode of all time by far, I'd say. Like as far as like outside of like regular multiplayer and a story mode, like it's better than horde mode and Gears by far. Better than the side modes in Bioshock, better than you know shit like that. So I'm gonna have to put it there. It's really hard to fucking like I don't know. It's hard looking at these because like I almost want to put Destroy Humans into Rising and Goated too, but I'm not going to because I haven't played them enough to put them there. I don't think. The Sims I haven't played. Madden I played a little bit. I'm gonna put below average. I do not enjoy American football as a sport. It's incredibly boring. Um, seems to give a lot of people CT and fuck with their brains. So, I'm gonna put it right there just because from the little bit I played and how it plays, it's just shit to be honest. Mario Party I've played a little bit of, but I haven't played in a long time, and I'd probably pop it in average. Right about here. I couldn't find one that just said Mario Party. I could not save a picture from it, but Super Mario also going to put at the end of average. Um, played a little bit on the N64. It was alright. But actually I'm gonna put it above Dead Space. Yeah. Um, Metal Gear Solid never played. Minecraft. I'm gonna put at the end of close to goated because it is a really fun game. But I mainly really like the survival aspect of it, like vanilla survival, vanilla Minecraft. I don't really like all the side servers. and shit you can play on, which I have played on. I played Build Battle, but whenever I play Build Battle, I just draw like the most obscene shit. I don't actually try to fucking play it, but Hunger Games is fun on Minecraft too, but mainly just vanilla for me, honestly. Um, yeah. I know I watched a little bit of 2B2T videos and shit. Seems like it'd be pretty fun to play on, but I feel like you would have had to been playing on the server for at least 6, 7 years for it to be fun. Mortal Kombat, goated. We're gonna put Mortal Kombat. Where would I put it in goated though? Definitely above Clash Royale. Clash Royale is really only going there because it's a mobile game. Um, is it better than COD though? I'm gonna have to say no because FPS as a franchise or as a series, like FPS games are just a lot better in my opinion, than fighting games. But as far as Mortal Kombat goes, it's the best fighting game, and Call of Duty is not the best FPS game. So I might actually. I'm trying to think. I'm actually gonna go like that. I'm gonna put those right above them, but I think I'm gonna keep them like that. Um, God, it's really just so hard because with COD, with just zombies, it makes me want to like slot it up more. But I just overall, it's just like obviously I play way more COD than H1 or the Tony Hawk or Bioshock. Not like way. Well, actually, yeah, way more because they've had a game every year, obviously. But yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it there. I want to put Mortal Kombat above it, but I'm not going to. MX for CTV. Remember you split it on the PlayStation 2. I think I had on 362. I'm putting it in decent. Going to put it right there. I do remember the MX ATV games being really fun. I think I only had one or two of them, but they were fucking really fun. Need for Speed. I think I only had Most Wanted. I'm gonna put in decent, and I'm gonna put behind Street. Fuck is Street? I'm gonna put it right there. Yeah. Um, NHL esports games. I played a lot from like I had like 94 and like weird ones like that, and then from like I don't know 5 maybe to like NHL 15. I have bought in every year. Maybe a couple missing in the year, but I definitely played a lot of like NHL 08, NHL 10, and then NHL 13, 14, and 15. I played a lot of hot mode in those three, but um, I'm gonna put NHL games in probably right about there, top of decent because they are the same thing every year. But back when I played them, I really enjoyed them, so I don't play them anymore really. But Overwatch, I'm gonna have to put in average because I have actually played it, and funny enough, I did actually recently just play it for the first time, and I only played it for like half an hour, but the game didn't really run too great for some reason. I was getting like 200 FPS, but the game looked like shit for me for some reason. I don't know why, but Overwatch is really just kind of a mixture of Apex Legends, I feel like, and Valorant. Um, but I've watched quite a bit of gameplay, and I know how the game would feel, even if I got used to it. I'm gonna put Overwatch. I'm gonna put it right down here, the end of average. Yeah. And then PUBG, absolute garbage. Yes, sir. We're gonna put it about Pokemon though. PUBG is. I'm actually gonna put. I'm gonna put Pac-Man down here too, actually. Yeah. Shit was. Shit was just ass. I don't know. I have like 40 hours in PUBG too. The game just fucking is terrible, dude. The movement in the game is garbage. The way people play it and just hide at the end is just like it's the worst BR experience I've ever played. I don't know how this game was ever popular, bro. It was, every time I play it, I'd be like, holy fuck, this shit is terrible. The movement is garbage. You jump out of a vehicle, you instantly die. Like you seem to die in one fucking bullet from, and you don't know where you're getting shot from because you can't tell because you can't see fucking shit in this game. It's just a bad game. Quake. I put a little bit of Quake. Quake is like the predecessor from CS. Really popular in the late 90s as a arena shooter. 1v1, more based on 1v1s, but I have watched quite a bit of gameplay. It is a pretty dope game. I'm gonna put it above Doom because it does. Yeah, I'm gonna put it right above Doom because they kind of are similar games, but not at all. But yeah. Rainbow Six. I played a little bit of the older ones, and I played Siege a little bit on PC, but gonna put it behind. I'm gonna put Rainbow Six like right there. I don't really have much to say on that. Ratchet and Clank. I only really played one or two of them on the PlayStation 2. I just like the name Ratchet and Clank. It just sounds good. So I'm gonna give it a little bit rating that should be. Pop Ratchet and Clank right about there. Yeah. Red Dead Redemption. Oh baby. I really enjoyed the first one and the second one. I'm gonna have to give Red Dead. I have to pop Red Dead right about there. A lot better than GTA in my opinion as a series. Yeah, everything's just. Fuck, I'm trying to look at some of the rankings because I might want to pop fucking GTA a little bit back more. I'm gonna keep it there for now. Some of these are not completely accurate. On some days, I might have them intertwined. Basically, they're pretty. It's pretty accurate. Like you might have me switching up one or like up one or down one or a couple, but you'll never like a game for me. You'll never be like two above. Like on no day, I will say Minecraft is average, but um yeah. I'm actually gonna pop that in front of Forza. I don't know why that. I'm going to. I'm also gonna pop that in front of Halo. Fuck. Um, fuck was that? Yeah. What game was I? Oh shit! What the fuck? What game did I just place? I don't think I placed it in the right spot, did I? Oh no, it was Red Dead. Yeah. Undead Nightmare's great. Original campaign's great. The second one's great, which I just finally beat recently and put like fucking 5 days into that game and only got like 700 gamer score. That game is the worst for completionists. Like holy fuck. I was gonna like really like get best in the West, which is the 100 gamer score, doing everything in the fucking single player game, obviously beating and doing all the side shit, but it's just a little bit too tedious. So, but yeah, the second game really just added from the first game. Graphically, it looks amazing. It even looked really good on the Xbox One. Um, I wish I could have played a lot of the games I played recently on the PC, which I could have, but I want to play them through my Xbox account. A lot of these games I can't play through the Xbox app yet. Maybe one day they'll add it in there. But um, yeah, I really like the a lot of the systems in Red Dead 2, like the legendary animals and shit like that. I really enjoyed that. That shit was cool. I honestly enjoy this side missions more honestly than this main story, but this main story was really good. Arthur's a really good character. Same with John from the first game. Obviously, Dutch is a really good, well written character. Like all the characters are really well written. Both the Red Dead games are like the writing is top notch, equivalent to like Bioshock, um, and Gears of War. Like it's just writing that's like you know you see this type of shit on like really good, well made like fucking I don't want to say Hollywood movies, but like you know you know what I mean. Rock Band. I really enjoyed playing the drums on Rock Band, but I'm gonna put Rock Band right about. It's a really unique game because it's really the only game on here where you're not using a controller or a keyboard and mouse, other than like Wii games, I guess. You're more playing instruments basically, but I'm gonna put Rock Band right about there. Um, I really did enjoy playing Rock Band back in the day at friends' houses and shit. It was really fun. Especially like the drums and the guitar, obviously. The singing shit with microphone or whatever was just really easy. You could kind of just hum the melody and the fucking you'd get like 100% of it. It was pretty cheese, but um yeah, I think actually do I want to slot the NHL games down? I think I'm gonna slot Crackdown down here actually. I'm gonna go Crackdown and put right here. I do think it's better than the Injustice series just 'cause I played it way more. I'm gonna put Fortnite right there, whatever. Um, yeah. Saints Row. Played the first two. I played the third also a little bit. They're kind of just shittier GTA's as they're shit like they're not made as good. The writing, the story isn't as good, but I think they're a little bit more unique and there's kind of cooler shit in them. But put Saints Row in decent, but I'm gonna put it right about here. Yeah. Street Fighter. I haven't really played it much, but I'm gonna put it in below average. I don't really enjoy it as a fighting game. I just really compare all fighting games to Mortal Kombat and just don't really enjoy them. Why would I play these when I could play Mortal Kombat? They just too anime like. I don't know. I'm gonna put it in below average. Yeah. Sniper Elite, dope ass game. I'll put in decent. I'm gonna put right behind Crackdown. Um, Star Wars Battlefront. No, this is Star Wars Battlefront 1 and 2, the old ones, and the newer 1 and 2. They're not remasters, but there's Battlefront 1 and 2, and then there's Battlefront 1 and 2 again. Um, I did have some of the older Star Wars games that aren't like Battlefront or Lego, but I'm not gonna really rank those because I think I only had a couple of them, and I don't really know how that would work. You'd add that? Would you add in like Fallen Order and all that? I don't really know how that would work. So I'm gonna put Battlefront as a whole. I've enjoyed all the Battlefront games. People seem to hate on the newer ones a little bit too much and dick ride the older ones. I did really enjoy Battlefront 2, like the older one a lot, and the newer one. Battlefront, the second versions of them, I think were a lot better than the original, the first ones or whatever, if that makes sense. But put Battlefront 2 right there. Hmm, I'll put it above it. I'm actually gonna put it at the top there. I think, yeah, I really do enjoy the Battlefront 2 games or Battlefront games. Even the newer ones are great too. Starcraft, I have a friend who plays Starcraft a lot. That's mainly the reason why I remembered this, because he's pretty good at Starcraft. But I've played it and I don't really enjoy it. And I've watched a decent amount enough or a good enough amount of gameplay to know how the game kind of plays. Not like if I was to play the game, I'd be garbage at it, which I have played the game, but I haven't played it in a long time. But I don't know enough about the game to actually be good at the game, but I know how the game works. For that, I'm gonna put it in below average, and I'm gonna put it with the rest of these because I think all four of these games are like so similar. What I remember, but Smash Bros. I'm gonna put in average, and I'm gonna put right above Mario Party. Um, I'm gonna move Skate, and I'm gonna move Skate, and I'm gonna move it there. I'm gonna put actually right there. They keep switching shit. It's fucking hard. Like I'm gonna put Fallout there. See, these could be so like you can move them anywhere, but I'll keep them there. Okay, Team Fortress. Haven't played a whole lot, but it was not bad. I'm gonna put it right about there. Tetris, barely played. It's a boring game. It doesn't really have much to it. I'm gonna put it right there. Resident Evil, I have barely played. Honestly, it is a horror game, and I feel like the games are quite a bit different. But God, I don't know. I'm gonna put Resident Evil and never played because I haven't really played it. Same thing with The Witcher. Titanfall, I haven't really played much. I'm gonna put it in average, right about. I'm gonna put it above Battlefield. I think I do remember enjoying it more than Battlefield. Then we got World of Warcraft, which I used to play in like 2006, probably 7, for like a year, but I didn't play it that often. Like I played an okay amount often, but this is like the only. This is like a rule to the exception of like the only PC game I actually ever owned, really. Previous to like having my own PC, we just had a desktop, and this is like the only game I ever played on it. But I'm gonna go with decent because I actually enjoyed the game somewhat, but I'm gonna put it right about there. No, I'm gonna put it there. And then Zelda, I never played. It's a fucking Nintendo game. It's ass. But yeah. So looking at this, I could move shit around. I'm kind of looking at Minecraft. I'm gonna put it above Forza Horizon actually. Yeah. Um, and Halo. Fuck, I think it's better than Halo. Yes and no. I mean, I just haven't played Halo in a long time, and like, I don't know. Like, I just because I played a little bit and didn't enjoy it, I can't really like. I don't know. It's fucking hard with some of these, man. It's hard to know where you want to put them, but I think this list is pretty accurate to where what I think. There's only a few games where I just don't enjoy. Like, I think Pokemon's awful. I don't know why people like it. Same thing. These games, Pac-Man's just too simple and boring, and yeah. Fuck Tetris. I mean, at least it's better than Pac-Man. I don't think it's as fucking boring, but I don't know, man. It's really hard to rank some of these. It really is. I'm gonna put God of War at the top or below average. I'm gonna put it right there actually. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good list for me, at least. And that goated tier is looking fucking, goated. But it's really just these two top tiers are like the games that I really do enjoy. All these games, like really, really do enjoy. And then like some games like Fortnite that I still play is like it's super hit and miss. Um, games like Crackdown, I haven't played in forever. I only played one game, and yeah, just I didn't play it enough for it to really have a massive impact. Valorant would be higher, but started to really hate the game after a while. NHL, that's just the same thing every year. GTA is overrated, so put it a little bit lower than maybe I would put it close to Coda, but it's just overrated to be honest, and it's pretty boring pretty easily. So yeah, I mean, there's a reason for all of them. Like some of these games that have higher or lower for different reasons, but like I said, with how much I played them on different days, maybe I'd have Guitar Hero on average, but it's just yeah. Like I could look at this forever. I could sit here for 10 hours and keep moving shit around, but I always kind of look at it and be like, I don't really know if I like this more or not, but I know they're very similar in how much I like them. And as, like Call of Duty, I would put above each one, but the thing is, it's so hard to say. Um, I'm gonna put COD above H1 because H1 is really fun, but it is only one. I don't know. I'm gonna put it above H1 for now. And I might even put Mortal Kombat above it too, just because of how much. I don't know. Just because of how dead H1 is now and how it's not a great game anymore. Um, but yeah, for now, let's keep the list like that. I think it's pretty solid, but yeah, it's probably been like fucking God, like 2 hours. Um, I always plan to make these a lot shorter, but then I start talking and I realize it's gonna be longer than I imagined. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. And thanks for watching. And yeah.